Changing the view using the ViewCube. In the upper right hand corner of our drawing screen, we have what's called the ViewCube. This is a 3D navigational tool. It allows you to see your part in different views very easily. So when your cursor is away from it, it's inactive and it fades away. When you hover over it, it comes active and it comes more opaque. Now, it has orthographic views and it has some isometric type views. So when I pick on one of these flat surfaces like the front, it gives me the front orthographic view. When I pick on one of the corners, it gives me an isometric view. So I pick on the right side, I'm looking at the right view. So on any corner then, I'm looking at any isometric view. If I want to look at the top view, there's my top view. I also have these directional arrows. I can spin it. So I can basically see it from any particular vantage point I want. Now, if you get kind of lost, you can always go home. Up here there's a little house. It's home. When I click on it, it brings me back to my start default view. Now, these are in orthographic views when I click on the faces, so they're 90 degrees to that view, perpendicular to that view. When I right click on the particular view cube, you can see that I'm in orthographic mode. I can switch it to be in perspective. Now this is the way the human eye normally sees it, so that things get smaller in the distance off on the horizon. And so if you want to have a more realistic view of what things are, but it's kind of hard to work with in close up. That's more for presentation mode. So when we right click on it, we might want to go with perspective with ortho faces. That means when I click on a right side view or a front view, I'll actually get it in a clear orthographic mode. But when I'm in an isometric, I get it in a perspective type mode. So I can right click on it here and I can actually say I want to go to home here. Now I can actually set any view I like. Let's say I set that view. Let's say that's the view I want to go to my home all the time. I can right click and say, you know what, let's set this view as home, and I can set it to exactly this view right here, or I can set it to some distance. So I can say I want this particular view as my home view, and every time I click on home, that will be my home view. And I can also reset my front, and this is an option to set our front view, because sometimes we want to see our front view as our very most important view, and so we can set that as well. So we have a lot of options, so I'm going to click and go home on mine. And so this is, you'll find, very, very handy. This is the #1 way of navigating in general terms. This is used probably 80% of the time for navigating along with our free orbit. These are the two biggies of how we see things in 3D space.